Welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barito. Let's take a look at the headlines. Local government minister urges citizens to play their individual roles in ensuring that the law is enforced. Another batch of dedicated young men and women have joined the ranks of the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. And Calcutta Road Bridge closed to pedestrian and vehicular traffic. For joining us. Local government consultation continues across the country in order to solicit the views of the people and to find out how best the Ministry of Local Government can meet the needs of citizens. This consultation on policy on local government transformation and modernization took place in Sangre Grande.
The proceedings of this consultation generated discussions in particular for the Sangre Grande area. Chairman of Sangre Grande, Mr. Alderman Mirage, says it is yet another testimony of the People's Partnership Administration's commitment to people-centered development and local democracy and good governance.
Our minister and our prime minister, we are very fortunate that they have both come from a local government background, so they fully understand the challenges that we face at local government. Tonight's proceedings would generate discussion for our area. Sangre Grande is unique in many different ways, and some of the challenges that we might face might be different from some of the other areas that have been visited previously.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Mr. Ahmadine Ali, says the government's vision is to build strong local communities and promote locally led economic development so that everyone can participate, contribute, and share their own destiny.
The first consultation was at San Fernando. We went to Arimo, then we went to Chaguanas, then to Port of Spain, and last week we were at Tunapuna, Regional Corporation, and here tonight we are in Sangre Grande. The contribution so far has been very stimulating, many novel ideas, and I'm sure tonight it would be no different.
Minister Suraj Rambajan and his team listened to a litany of woes from the residents of Sangre Grande.
We need good pavement going all the way up to the hospital. When you have to walk the area, the road is totally out of order. The pavement, in fact.
So you want to see greater infrastructure work, roads and drains and pavements?
I would like to speak for myself. Or if you have...
No, but if you know, I want to be respectful for you, but you're the first contributor. We're going live on radio, so I'm trying to get from you what you have to say and summarize it so that other persons can make their contribution.
We need so much thing in Sangre Grande. The whole structure of Sangre Grande have to rearrange.
You know, sir, there was a minister up here recently, and he congratulated the people of Sangre Grande. He said, we had a lot of patience. There are so many things wrong. Traffic jam in Valencia. You all promised to fix that 30 years now. New hospital to be built. Roads to be fixed. And he said, but the people of Sangre Grande are so nice. They're full of patience. They are great. So I want to start with the patience. One of the best functioning hospitals in Trinidad and Tobago is Sangre Grande. Full of patience.
Other issues such as expansion of bridges, paving of roads, proper public toilet facilities, and beautification of the immediate area was brought to the attention of the minister. In his response to the residents' plight for help, Minister Rambajan says he is doing all in his power to address these concerns.
On the 6th of March 2013, I carried a note to Cabinet, and your road, Saddle Road, has been approved for water under the WASA at a cost of $525,000. If I may just also say, Fleming Road, Fishing Pond, Sangre Grande, Cowlessa Road of Coal Mine, Sangre Grande, and Kaigwell Road in Manzanilla, all of those have also been approved in this Cabinet note. I'll refer to it later, but I have been doing my work in the area to find out what are some of the needs, but Saddle Road is in here, and that should commence in a couple of weeks.
As Minister with the responsibility of local government, he says his primary concern is the need to address these issues to impact positively on the lives of citizens and burgesses. Joseph Lopez, News 4.
In other news, the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure is advising the public of the closure of what is commonly called the Calcutta Road Bridge. The bridge has been closed to all traffic, both vehicular and pedestrian, with immediate effect. This closure has become necessary because the bridge is no longer capable of supporting vehicular or pedestrian traffic and now poses a threat to public safety. The ministry suggests 4 alternative routes for drivers. Persons heading northbound on the Solomon Hochoy Highway, they are advised to use the exit at Freeport Overpass, turn left onto Freeport Mission Road, turn left onto Calcutta Road, number 3 next to Freeport Police Station, and exit on Calcutta Road number 2, or travel west along Freeport Mission Road until Four Roads Junction and turn left onto Calcutta Road 2. Persons heading south along the Solomon Hochoy Highway can exit at Freeport Overpass, turn right onto Freeport Mission Road, turn left onto Calcutta Road number 3 next to Freeport Police Station, and exit on Calcutta Road number 2, or travel west along Freeport Mission Road until Four Roads Junction and turn left onto Calcutta Road number 2. Motorists wishing to access the area while driving south along the Southern Main Road can turn left at St. Mary's Junction and drive until the Four Roads Junction, then turn right onto Calcutta Road number 2. Whereas persons heading north along the Southern Main Road, they are advised to turn right onto Calcutta Road number 1 and exit onto Calcutta Road number 2, or turn right at St. Mary's Junction until Four Roads Junction, then turn right onto Calcutta Road number 2. The Ministry of Works and Infrastructure wishes to apologize for any inconvenience caused, but reiterates that the bridge has only been closed given the hazard it poses to public safety. And residents of Diamond Road in Claxton Bay will soon see better drainage facilities as the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure embarks on the replacement of 2 underground culverts. The work began today and will conclude on Thursday. As a result of the works, however, a portion of Diamond Road from Cedar Hill Road to 500 meters north will be closed to vehicular traffic from today, Wednesday, April 10th at 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. tomorrow. That's Thursday, April 11th, 2013. Only Diamond Road residents will be allowed to access to the road for the said period. Motorists approaching the area are advised to proceed with caution in the construction zone, observe all barriers and directional signs, be aware of heavy equipment turning, adhere to instructions from police officers on site to facilitate the flow of traffic in an orderly manner. The Ministry of Works advises motorists to utilize Phoenix Park as an alternate access route to the area. When we come back, local government minister Suraj Ratan Rambachan urges citizens to play their individual roles in ensuring that the law is enforced.
I was born on an island in the Caribbean where every creed and race finds an equal place.
I am Trinbago.
Here you could get lost in the sweet songs of our steel band or the rhythm of the tassa drum, and then we mix up all the cultures like a pot of callaloo and put on the greatest show on earth.
I am Trinbago. Win, lose or draw, we celebrate everybody. Our beauty is known around the world. No one can lime like us and fet like us. We play together, work together, we pray together.
I am Trinbago. From the shores of Charleville to Maracas, to the streets of Port of Spain and Scarborough, there's no other land that I'd rather have my identity than this twin island, Trinidad and Tobago. I am dialect.
I am goat race.
I am doubles and roti.
I am emancipation and arrival.
I am oil and rainforests.
I was forged from the love of liberty.
We are Trinbago.
I am red,
white and black. I am TNT.
Brought to you by the Ministry of National Diversity and Social Integration.
Thank you for staying with us. Local Government Minister, the Honorable Suraj Ratan Rambachan, is urging citizens to play their individual roles in ensuring that the law is enforced. He was speaking at the Couva Tabaki Talpara Regional Corporation on the topic of enforcing the law in local government.
Indiscipline in this society is the result of a lack of adherence to the law. This from Dr. Suraj Rambachan, who highlighted the importance of a law-abiding society during his address at the Coover Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation.
Part of the indiscipline in the society is people's ignoring of the law and doing so with impunity. And as a result of that, we need to grow in terms of our personal vigilance, our collective vigilance, but more so vigilance at the level of officers who are appointed to ensure that the law is followed.
The minister says it is up to individuals to play their part in ensuring that the law is obeyed. He says it is the duty of individuals to display a greater level of responsibility as a developing country moving forward.
We have to develop a culture where people are actually going to look at another person, a neighbor, and so on, and say to that neighbor, I don't think you're being fair to the public. I don't think you're being fair to the country. We need a culture shift. We need a shift to more responsible attitudes on the part of our citizens, particularly with respect to the quality of the environment. We need to do a lot more. We are far away from where we ought to be as a developed country. I hate to think of Trinidad and Tobago as a developing country or an undeveloped country because there's so much in this country that is of a developed nation status.
Minister Rambachan says most of the problems surrounding local government rest solely on the actual enforcement issue as it relates to the law.
A person who impedes the free flow of water in any ditch, drain or watercourse in or adjoining any street within a municipality, or B, any ditch, drain or watercourse on any land into or through which water from any such street flows, or any ditch, drain or watercourse under any such street, is guilty of an offense and liable to a fine of $1,000 and a further fine of $100 for each day the offense continues after conviction. What is so difficult to understand this law and to apply it? What is so difficult to do that? I see no difficulty. Therefore, the question is enforcement. The question is doing so without fear or favor. And what we find is that when you live in communities which you know each other, sometimes you find it very difficult to enforce the law. Well, the corporations are not bad Johns. I know that what the corporations, through their councillors, first do is go and plead with the individual.
The minister says government remains committed to enforcing the law in local government and society as a whole. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
The wants and needs of persons residing in the Mayaro-Rio Claro area are valuable to the Mayaro-Rio Claro Regional Corporation. This is the message being sent as the corporation seeks the input of residents in the construction of a recreation ground and basketball court in that area.
The corporation has held what it regards as an extremely important exercise in the delivery of its products and services. The corporation, with the support of the Ministry of Local Government, is now following international best practice standards for community development. There are plans to construct a community recreation center, but consultations are being held as international best practice requires the input of stakeholders via a public outreach meeting. Speaking at the consultations, a representative for the Mayaro-Rio Claro Regional Corporation says this is the citizens' chance to see how their community is developed and a chance for the corporation to serve the community.
As part of the thinking of the MRCRC, is that its activities are driven by the people of this municipality, is that whatever the corporation does, it does for and on behalf of the residents, the burgesses of this municipality. And because the corporation is of the uncompromising belief that its activities, all be they designed to serve you, must be born out of you, and that at every stage of the implementation and delivery process, you must have some say. You must have some opportunity to determine what you want, how you want it, and how you go about getting it.
Meanwhile, the Chief Executive Officer of the Regional Corporation, Mr. Motilal Ramsingh, expresses his hope that the consultations and the consequent construction of the facility will go smoothly. However, despite his hopes, he is expecting a few hiccups, funding being a major issue.
And that's what we deal with, and that's what the purpose of having a holistic development of the facility. It wouldn't finish in 1 year because we will have funding constraint. But what we want to do, we want to develop the place in a sort of holistic way, that you will see things taking place. It will not finish immediately, but on an annual basis, eventually it will roll out. There is a plan then.
He explains that the facility is necessary according to the National Planning Framework, which supports the construction and renovation of these recreation grounds. The framework calls for the greater engagement of the public in sporting activities. This is to facilitate a healthier and, by extension, longer living citizenry. Studies show that 25.5% of Burgesses in the Miaro-Rio Claro region suffer from chronic, non-communicable illnesses and diseases. Gregory McBurney, News 4.
When we come back, TT Pro League action. Stay with us.
Personal music players can stop you from being aware of your surroundings. Always be aware of your surroundings and periodically look over your shoulder to prevent anyone from sneaking up on you. Remember, crime prevention is everyone's business. A message from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Adults aren't the only ones who beat up on kids. Sometimes kids beat up on kids.
Every child has the right to be protected from violence, abuse, and neglect.
Because I shouldn't be afraid to go to school or play with my friends.
Because no child should be hurt by adults or by other children.
Because safety is my right. Stop the bullying.
The 2013 edition of the TT Pro League Lucozade Sport Gold Shield will kick off on April 12th. The competition will see 8 teams vie for over $30,000 in prize money.
This is an innovative idea which seeks to deliver an exciting brand of football to the fans. The more goals you score, the more money the winners receive.
Already the excitement and tension is building as teams participating in the Lucozade Gold Shield are promising when they hit the field to give their fans good, clean attacking football. The top 8 teams in the TNT Pro League will face each other over 3 match days to determine who will lift the Lucozade Sport Gold Shield. The 3-round competition will be held at the Arthur Bolden and Marvin Lee Stadia. The quarterfinals will see 2 back-to-back games take place at both stadia. The semis will take the form of a double-header kickoff at the Marvin Lee Stadium, the same venue at which the prestigious final will be held. Chief Executive Officer of the Trinidad and Tobago Pro League, Dexter Skeen, says he expects the competition to raise the level of the league. However, he says while the league is doing what it can to improve Trinidad and Tobago club football, the players and the club staff must play their part.
I would ask everyone to spread the word of the TT Pro League with the same passion that we play with on the field. Sell yourself, your teammates, and your club to everyone you come into contact with. The more people hear it, the more the name will resonate within them, and they will then act on it and become ambassadors for our league. It means we must go out into the world, make believers of the population through our marketing strategies, media campaigns, and community outreach programs. The league is at present implementing a campaign to create stars of our local players, together with pursuing the upgrade of grounds in the communities. Our social media campaign has been growing. Through our board and owners, a more strategic approach is being implemented at management level. The wheels are rolling. Let us continue to pick up the momentum with this, the Lucozade Sport Gold Shield.
As the competition gets ready to kick off, Mr. Skeen is calling on Trinbagonians to appreciate the importance of the Pro League to the development of the future of football in this country.
People in Trinidad and Tobago do not realize how important the TT Pro League is to this society and to developing the youth. It is so important to allow people to develop, to find a niche that they themselves are created for, and to, most importantly, to be able to make a living from it.
Games kick off on Friday at the Atto Boldon and Marvin Lee Stadia with double headers at each location. Gregory McBurney, News 4 Sports.
More news after the break.
The Homo sapien, we'll call him Mark. It spends its days trying to attract a mate. Success. What follows is a series of celebratory actions unique to this species. Every Homo sapien has their own way of displaying themselves to attract a female. But things don't go according to plan.
Where the water gone?
No water, no love. Pay your WASA bill today.
The Water and Sewage Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. Water security for every sector. Deliver it. Sustain it.
The iPhone 4S has an all-new camera with 8 megapixels and advanced optics. So it lets you capture stunning photos. And because it's an iPhone, you can do things you never imagined possible with a camera. So maybe the only camera you need is the one on the most amazing iPhone yet.
Another batch of dedicated young men and women have joined the ranks of the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. This comes in the wake of several developments in the local defense force.
19 trainee fire officers have joined the ranks of the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. This follows 4 months of rigorous training and excellence in theoretical and practical training. Acting Chief Fire Officer Mr. Naya Rampersad explains that the 19 men and women who were successful were but a handful of the much larger group of initial applicants.
Today is indeed a time for celebration, as they would have done exceedingly well to reach this final rite of passage and to take the oath of office as a firefighter. I say this as not all prospective applicants was able to make it this far. We started off with 99 trainees, and 9 had to leave on either medical grounds or because of declaring a false attestation as to their character and police records.
Mr. Rampersad says the dropout rate of 9% is common due to the stringent criteria in the selection and training process.
The fire service has an important role to play in saving life and protecting life or property from damage or destruction by fire or other hazards, whether fire-related or not. We need firefighters who can take pride in providing quality, people-centered service. Officers who can be compassionate, calm, caring, and helpful in treating victims and casualties in great distress. We are placed in positions of trust when people's property and personal lives are exposed to us. And we need personnel with high integrity and the right temperament to render humanitarian and other emergency services.
The Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service School held its trainee firefighters passing out parade 2013 at the Queen's Park Savannah. Attendees got an opportunity to see the officers on parade in full splendor. They showed off their newly acquired skills in fire prevention practices, first aid, and the different techniques in structural firefighting and rescues. Minister of National Security, the Honourable Jack Warner, in warning the officers against falling victim to the criticisms and detractors, called on the servicemen and women to hold fast to what they believe in.
Don't be afraid of criticism.
At the end of the day, stand for what you believe. And I want to tell you today again, always do what is right, not what is popular. But if what is right is also popular, then so be it. At the end of the day, you have to feel within yourself that as long as you have given your best then is good enough.
According to the acting chief fire officer, 5 new fire stations are expected to be built across Trinidad and Tobago.
But I want to add today that there are 2 more on the drawing board, one in Toco and one in Moruga, places where this would have been unheard of in the past. For years, look at the history of Toco and ask the people of Toco why they never had a fire station. Ask the people of Moruga why they never had one. And today, Moruga is also having a new police station as well. Because what we have done as a government is to change the paradigm where everything in the past was from north of the Caroni Bridge. Now everything is in Trinidad and Tobago. And that is why even Roxborough shall have its new station, and the same for Scarborough. Throughout the country, even with the limited resources we have, we are trying to do the best for our fire officers.
The Honourable Minister pledged his support to the enhancement of the fire service and called on those who had issues and concerns to meet with him to find common solutions. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
And that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barreto. Thank you for watching.